Hello. A long time ago there lived an artist called Vincent Van Gough. He saw beauty in the things that we take for granted and rarely stop to look at. But when Vincent painted them, that made us realise how special they were. In Amsterdam there's a museum filled with his work. I've never been, but I'd love to go one day. This is a story about Vincent Van Gogh. I hope you like it. It's called Vincent and Camille. Story by Rene Van Blerk. Illustrations by Wouter Tulp. Do you see that boy in the green shirt and blue cap? That's Camille, and the man and woman are Camille's mum and dad. Bye mum, bye dad, Camille says. Mr. Vincent's asked me to help him with something today. What does he want you to do? Camille's mum asks him. Camille doesn't know. Mr. Vincent hasn't told him yet. Well, it'll be a surprise then, Camille's mum says. Off you go. Camille gives his mum a big kiss on the cheek. Camille sets off for Mr. Vincent's house. It's always a fun walk because there are so many interesting things to see on the way. He carefully crosses the road. When he reaches the other side, he gives his mum and dad a quick wave. Say hello to Mr. Vincent from us, Camille's dad calls to him. Will do, Camille shouts back. Bye then. See you later. Camille hasn't gone far when he sees a steam train coming. Big grey clouds puff out of the chimney. Camille starts to run, faster and faster, but the train is even faster than he is. Before Camille can run under the bridge, the train is already clattering and banging overhead. Camille claps his hands over his ears. Kaboom, 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 kaboom. Trains are wonderful, but they certainly make a lot of noise, thinks Camille. Then the train's gone and the sound grows quieter and quieter as it disappears into the distance. Mr. Vincent lives at the end of the road in a small yellow house with green shutters. Opposite the house is a park with a big pond. I'll just go and have a quick look at the water, Camille thinks. Maybe I'll even see some frogs. But there are no frogs to be seen. All Camille can see are some water plants and his own face. The surface of the pond is like a mirror. Oh, that's a shame, Camille thinks. But maybe if I wait a while? Then he hears a voice. Camille! Hey, Camille, the voice calls. Camille looks at the yellow house across the road. An upstairs window is open. There's a man standing at the window. He waves. Camille waves back. Hello, Mr. Vincent, he calls. I'll be right there. Ah, Camille, how nice to see you, Mr. Vincent says as he opens the door. Come inside and sit down. I'll fetch you a nice cool drink. Camille sits down and takes a good look around. Mr. Vincent is an artist. He makes paintings in all the colours of the rainbow. The whole house is full of them. Mr. Vincent gives Camille a big glass of lemonade. Now, you just take your time and enjoy your drink, he says. Do you mind if I paint for a while? Of course not, Camille says. What are you painting? I'll show you when it's done, Mr. Vincent replies. Mr. Vincent uses his brush to spread the paint on the canvas. He paints for a long time. Camille sits on the chair and waits. He can't see what Mr. Vincent's painting. All he can see is the back of the canvas, and that's blank. Mr. Vincent, he asks, why is your house painted yellow? Mr. Vincent stops painting. Oh, that's a very good question, he says. Yellow is such a beautiful colour. Yellow's the colour of the sun, of cornfields, of fresh butter. And yellow's the colour of sunflowers too, and buttercups and leaves in autumn. Mr. Vincent carries on painting. The brush swishes up and down over the canvas. So, Camille, he says after a while, imagine you lived in the yellow house. What colour would you paint it? Camille thinks deeply about the question. Green, he declares. My house would be green, the greenhouse. Green's the colour of grass and of leaves in spring. Green's the colour of frogs too, and then he falls silent. No, he says, no, my house would be blue. The blue house. Blue's the colour of the sky and of my eyes. Blue's the colour of my dad's warm coat too. And your cap, Mr. Vincent says. And my cap, Camille agrees. Then he goes silent again. He's busy thinking. No, he says, no, the house would be red. The red house. Red's the colour of strawberries and roses. Red's... Ha ha, Mr. Vincent laughs. I know what your problem is. You can't choose, can you? You love colour just as much as I do. Then he puts down his brush. Finished, he says. Thank you for being such a great help. Finished? Camille asks in surprise. But I haven't even done anything to help you yet. Oh, yes, you have. You did something very difficult indeed, Mr. Vincent says. You sat still in your chair for a long time. But that's not helping you, is it? Camille says. It all seems pretty strange. Then there's a knock at the door. It's Camille's mum and dad. They want to see if he's finished helping Mr. Vincent. Perfect timing, Mr. Vincent says. I've just completed my painting. Camille's parents laugh. Guess what Mr. Vincent's painted, they say. Camille thinks about it for a moment, and then he realises. Really? He asks Mr. Vincent. Really, Mr. Vincent says. Very carefully he turns the painting round so Camille can take a look. Camille looks at the painting. The boy in the painting looks back at him, and he sees that the boy in the painting is him. It's like looking in the mirror. Camille can see all kinds of colours. Yellow, green, blue, red. So, young man, how do you like it? Mr. Vincent asks. I think it's beautiful, Camille says. Amazing, Camille's dad cries. It's the very image of our Camille. And what do you think of it? Mr. Vincent asks Camille's mum. I think it's wonderful, she replies. But I know one thing that's different. You can't do this to a painting, she says. And she gives Camille a cuddle and a big kiss on the cheek. The end. If you liked this book as much as I do, you can click on the link and it will take you to a place where you can buy it. Till next time, bye-bye.